Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LS Formula Series. We're here for round 4, another day Canada for the SDM Canadian Grand Prix. Currently taking a look at the standings with Jimmy Fuego up in first with 18 points, Lindsay second with 17, MTL with 16, Sam with 15, Draco with 14, and of course Swapple with 12, Scratch and Zack tied, Metro and Jack tied. We have Kazi, Zio tied, Blake and Apollo tied, and no driver with 0 points, meaning that everyone has scored their points. So, let's get it all started. And keep an eye out for the next 2 races. We have the Audi Record Suzuka race and the Bartopia Autopolis race. I'm kind of curious how these guys will be racing in Suzuka, because Suzuka is a tough cookie. Suzuka is a really tough cookie. As we're taking a look at the qualifying session here at Canada at Montreal Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And if you notice, there's also a map at the top right, and this is purely for the future of LLS. There's gonna be multiple races with that map. Of course, I can adjust it a bit as I'll put it over here, way easier to look at. So looking at Jack so far, the driver who, and also Linz, another good driver that has been doing alright in LR's Formula. Ended up in the podium last time in Imola, and now I think he wants to do more than a podium. I think he wants to go for a race win here today. Let's see if he could do it in the first place. Of course, the map is here just for like, it's more just a placeholder for the time being, as it's purely for the Nordschleife crown for the GT race. The DAB race needs a map because it's such a large map. So look at the championship leader, Jimmy Fuego, starting his lap here today at Canada. MTL also getting ready to start his lap at MTL's race at Imola was actually fairly okay. Ended up 6th, or ended up he ended up 2nd, excuse me, not 6th. Mew ended up 6th, MTL ended up 2nd. Making that a very, very good run for him. So look at Zio side to side with Zack, who's already on a flying lap. He wants to get ahead, but he has to be careful. Does not want to ruin Zack's run either. And Zio's race at Imola was not great at all. Ended up 11th due to a crash, I think. I think he was involved in the crash, I'm not sure. But in Bahrain, he definitely shunned 100%. Zack ended up 10th in Imola. Has had a podium beforehand, and that was in Australia, the first race of the season. Now we see here the 4th race of the season at Canada. Let's see if he could get himself to the top spot here. Crosses the line, he definitely wants to shoot for the top spot as he gets the current provisional pole. And Sam takes it away. Blake Izuyoy immediately swoops in. And now Apollo breaks that 119 barrier with a 118.893 here. Kanzi putting his car in second there, pushing Sam into third and Blake out of the top three. Looks looking great for the Canadian who's here on home soil today. So looking at Miu about to come over to the next few turns, and then of course has to go to the hairpin onto the straight, and then she could submit her run. And let's see if she is fast enough. Jimmy Fuego, however, he needs to step it up if he wants to keep that spot on the standings. Of course, he is first, but if he performs horribly here in Canada, it could be snatched away by anyone, as he's 1 point away from Linz. And Linz is all the way at the bottom, but he could 100% improve as we look at. Let's cross the line. Miu crossed the line, and this is what I was afraid of. Now, Linz not that high, but Miu managed to squeeze her car. Gets on two wheels there for a second, but managed to squeeze her car to third position. We have less than 5 minutes remaining. Now we're about to have less than 4.5 minutes remaining. The current standings. Linz, Jack, Jimmy Fuego, Draco, Zio. Actually, I'm gonna wait for Jimmy to cross the line, because I feel like he can do a faster lap. But I want to see what will happen. I'm seeing a lot of other cars cross the line. And Jimmy definitely improves, puts his car into 11th. So the current standings is, I would just wait, because there's going to be a big gap between the cars soon. Alright, I think I can do it now. So, the current standings. Linz, Jack, Jim Fuego, Metro, Flappa, Zach, Zio, Scratch, MTL, Kanzi, Miu, Blake, Easyyoy, Draco, Sam, and Apollo with pole position, who improves on this time with a 187.21. Gathered himself even more time. Blake improving, but not fast enough to get ahead of Draco. Was currently in third. So look at the Metro, the other black and red car. And also Kanzi here, teammate of Jimmy Fuego. Both of them who are part of the Buckshot Bros here today, and have been racing with each other since Roblox era. Zio cross the line. Draco. Now Blake getting on second. And this is a great day today here for the Canadian fans who are watching a cheer along Blake, who gets himself into second here. Today might be the day that we see a driver win a home soil. But Apollo could change it all too. So let's not pop the champagne too soon, but let's instead keep that hype for the race, because that could change it all over there. Its current top 5 all have under 1 minute 18, and everyone else underneath with a 1 minute 19. So you really got the 118 club, which is all top 5 at the moment. And you definitely see Metro. He tries to improve on his run. And Jimmy Fuego also trying to improve on his run. I don't know who's behind him at the moment, but we're currently taking a look at the pole sitter. None other than Apollo in the 4. Driver the UROK livery. And his race has been going super well so far. His qualifying session has been going fantastic. He keeps on improving. There is no stopping him. He crosses the line here. He doesn't have to worry about anyone else. He is doing very, very solid so far. As we have the group of other drivers coming over to the straight. Those being Scratch, Metro, and I think that's Kanzi back there. Where's Kanzi? I can't really identify. I'm gonna take a shot at Dark, say that's Kanzi, or that's Flapper. No, it's Kanzi. I say Kanzi. I give up. I'm not gonna try. As the time is ticking in, yes, the time is ticking, and we're now going to see many of the drivers cross the line to finish the Canadian Grand Prix. This is to be the lap for multiple drivers, including the 32 here of Jimmy Fuego, who shoots himself all the way up to 7th. But I think it once more, knowing that his championship standings is under question at the moment. As the qualifying session comes to an end, we are looking at the remaining cars crossing the line here today. First sector in the 43 Sean McLaren livery. See multiple drivers coming over to the finish line soon. MTL onto the roundabouts, onto the hairpin. Now onto the very long straight, and this is where a lot of overtakes might happen. And we're going to see a lot of side-to-side racing here and there. Only a few cars remaining to cross the line, including MTL here, who's going to make it from 5 to 4. So MTL will end 9th. How about Jimmy Fuego, the championship leader, stays in 7th. How about Zach? How about Jack? No improvement for Jack. No improvement for Zach. Zio, an improvement, gets ahead of MTL. And makes that the current standings: Apollo, Blake Easyoi, Draco, Mio, and Sam. As we are about to get ready, we are about to go green. 17 laps around Canada. You hear Blake's car so close next to Apollo. Definitely trying to put a lot of pressure on the 4 already this soon. Blake has to be quick when it comes to actions now, because the pack's going to loosen up later. Jimmy getting ahead of Sam right there to go side to side, I think. Yes, they're still side to side into the next turn. Let's see if Jimmy can get ahead. Blake is charging and fighting like it's the last race of his season, and I love it. But Apollo managed to stay far from Blake. Blake back into striking distance. But I think Apollo has shaken off the 39. Let's see if the Canadian could get himself to the top spot, or if he's going to deal with a podium for the entirety of the race. Coming over to the hairpin. This is where shit might hit the fan. No collisions. Jack getting ahead of Linz. Really close to one another. But Linz keeping that position from Jack. Onto the straightaway. Let's see if Jack could improve or get ahead of one another. No. Jesus, that got scary. Jack swerving to the side. Had to be super careful. Almost made contact with Linz, and now he tries to get ahead again. Linz on the inside here, but now Jack on the outside. Straight away, lap 2. We're looking at Zach at the moment. Next to Sam. Really close. And Zio swerving by. Swoops in. Takes the spot away from the 43. Saw him struggling with the McLaren, and now Zach doing the same thing to Zio. It's like everything. It's like the tables have turned for both of the drivers. They both had a taste of their own medicine there. Scratch getting close to Jimmy, or to Cons, excuse me. side to side, all to the hairpin here. Let's see which of the two could get ahead. Close to one another, but Scratch still side to side. Not giving that spot up in the slightest. Does get ahead of Kanzi, but Kanzi still side to side with Zach. They're coming over to the chicane here. Hard braking zone. And you definitely see Kanzi and Scratch going side to side. Now Kanzi ahead, got way earlier on the gas and managed to keep the car under control. So looking at Zach currently in 7th. Many of these drivers who also race in different series, of course. I always love talking about this. I do this in every race, in every series. Where I talk about the drivers who race in different series and what they had that season or that race. For example, like with Apollo who races in stock car. And he was in Atlanta last time, and he got himself a win there at Road Atlanta. It looks like he might go for another win here today at yeah, it looks like he might go for a win here today at Canada for the Formula Series. And it'll be insane if he later today gets himself the Buckshot Bros 100th win at the Brickyard, which is the longest race in LRS. Meanwhile, Blake Easyyoy in GT has not been doing well, but there has been confirmation that Blake will be driving a different car in GT. Miyu in Prototype had a horrible race. Ended up all the way in last due to many crashes at Interlagos. She was in Brazil, racing in the Prototype, the LMP3 class. And as I said, that race was horrible because she just had to deal with so much crashing and everything. Draco, however, in stock car, he has been doing okay. Of course, Draco got himself. Well, he didn't do very well last time, but for the 11th doubleheader, he did a very okay amount. He had a 13th, however, in stock car, but outside of that, at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, he did alright with a 7th, but in Road Atlanta, he did horrible. Jimmy Fuego, for Jimmy, he was a really hard time at Watkins Glen last time because he had difficulty there. Just could not manage to get the pace, but it was just a bad day for the Mercedes drivers overall, since even Danny Allister had difficulty, and even JKR also had difficulty, and those two are really experienced with the Mercedes. Not saying that Jimmy Fuego's not saying that Jimmy Fuego's inexperienced. Jimmy Fuego's as experienced, if not more experienced, than the both of them. I mean, that man managed to put that Mercedes on the podium. Think about it. But yeah, it's just not been going great for him that race. Although it's not that much of a worry when he won. He got podium at Bahrain. Sam racing in stock car ended up 12th. Not a great race for him, but it's looking bright for him in for the latter half, as he had an alright race with the Buckshot Bros before Legends Adjourns during the before the series became everything else. Before the big what I call it, the big moment, I think I call it. The big change. That's what I call it. The big change. Before that, it is Sam has done a lot of good stuff in stock car, and mind you, he was a champion beforehand. So let's see if he could possibly get a win there. Just 10 more laps remaining. Apollo still with the lead here at Canada. Oh, Sam under a lot of pressure from Zio and Zach. Meanwhile, Kanzi also close. And that pack over there really getting a lot of pressure here and there. And it's not looking great for Linz. However, for the driver who's having a great day so far, Jimmy Fuego, despite the fact that he midway through the qualifying session ended up all the way in like 13th, managed to skyrocket himself to 7th, and now is in the top 5. As Kanzi gets ahead of Zio here. Jimmy Fuego's doing okay. I think he can actually still keep the lead if he keeps that pace going. Another driver that's also been doing all right is Zach. He has been racing in prototype, and he won in Brazil. He actually won the race in Brazil, and let's see if he can do something great here today too. I mean, he's going to be racing later today in Bahrain, so I think he's immediately going to catch a flight after. Zio. Yeah, he's supposed to race a stock car, but it has been confirmed that there has been some issues there in terms of inviting the drivers. So Zio will be joining later. Slarma will also be joining. And those will all be in season 2. Kanzi, however, Kanzi was racing in the Ferrari in Watkins Glen. Not a good result, but the Ferraris, however, the other drivers, the other Ferrari drivers, those being Ricky and Pluto, had a great race there. Just Kanzi was off the pace there. Scratch, of course, he won Imola last time, and in the stock car, he actually got himself a podium. He actually got himself a 3rd, so he's pretty much tied with Jimmy Fuego in terms of like performance in a day. Like, you know, you can get like podiums in a day, or like a race wins in a like multiple races in. You can get max of 2 race wins in a day. You cannot race in 3 series, so 2 race wins in a day. And the closest we ever had that was Jimmy Fuego in Bahrain, where he won the Formula race and got podium, 3rd place in GT. Scratch won the Imola race and got podium in Road Atlanta. Metro also been doing all right. His race was actually not that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. In Imola, however, he ended up 7th, and in GT, he funny enough also ended up 7th. another driver, MTL. Uh, MTL was racing in GT. He won the race at Watkins Glen. And in Formula, I don't think he was. Oh no! Damn! Okay, so MTL actually has the highest record so far. Got podium in Formula and won the race in GT. Okay, congratulations. I didn't know that. Flapper. Flapper ended up. That actually surprised me for a second. Flapper 12th in Formula, but his stock car, Flapper also ended up 9th. So it was not a great day last time. Previously, it was not a great day for Flapper. Jack, however, for Jack, it was not a great day either. Ended up 11th in stock car. And he ended up 13th in Formula, so 0 points that day. Linz. This might be a hard day for Linz because he's far off the pace compared to all the other drivers. We're talking about the driver who had the podium. And in prototype, he was 3rd. Pretty much what all of the drivers had that day. Ow. That's pretty much what happened last time. I see how he'll be going today. Here at round 4 for every series. Other things are also happening. Prototype will get rid of a few races purely for it to be more manageable in terms of scheduling. Because Prototype needs 10 races to be done in a single season, which is too much. Meanwhile, Stock Car has the same amount as Prototype. The Stock Car is 10, Prototype is 10. But Stock Car also added 2 new races to the calendar. They added Sebring and Nashville Motor Speedway, or National Super Speedway, excuse me. So, yeah, that means that every series has a minimum of 12 races, and Prototype has half. Meaning that every 2 races, let's say like, we get round 1, round 2 of GT, Formula, and Stock Car, that means it's going to be round 1 for Prototype, and it's going to be way less on terms of like how long it takes. Also, in other news, Blake Easy has been driving the new GT cars. Those being the Audi, has been test driving it. It's been going super well for the Canadians. Said that those cars are way better, and he's ready to compete in it. Look at Kazi getting close to Zeal here. We have 5 more laps remaining here. Apollo still in the lead. Has been leading the pack for more than half of the race so far. As a look at Miu entered close to Blake Isayoy here. But Blake, podium on home soil is better than anything. You cannot ask for anything better. Like, if you cannot win, a podium at least is way better. So it'll be nice to see a Canadian get podium on home ground here in Canada. Look at Sam here, and also Zach right behind him, putting pressure on the 6. Jack having a horrible start to just a horrible first half of the season. Hopefully he will get better in the latter half. Hopefully Jack will have a better race later on. And his tire also messed up over there. There's a big mark over there on the tire. And he's gonna be lacking a lot of grip that he locked up on multiple occasions. That's something you want to have on your cars. Constantly putting so much pressure on Zio. But Zio defending with everything he can here. Apollo in the lead by over 7 seconds. Meanwhile, Miyu in third, Blake in second. And Miyu has been putting a lot of pressure on Blake at the same time. As Apollo has 3 more laps remaining here. Or, excuse me, 4 more laps. Oh no, 2 more, or 3 more, excuse me. I can't count. Excuse me for that one. More laps remaining here. Waving white flag, 1 more lap to go here at Canada. Oh, Kazi does get really close. So look at Apollo coming over to the last two turns here. Or even a black and white checkered flag, the number 4. He's gonna bring his car to victory lane here today in Canada. Blake Easyoi coming over podium on 2nd place here in front of his crowd. Miyu in 3rd and Drake in 4th, Jimmy Fuego 5th. Sam in 6th, Zach in 7th, Zio in 8th. Kanzi in 9th and Scratch in 10th. Jimmy managing to keep his position. Hopefully he kept this position in the standings, but we still do not know yet. We'll find that out in a minute, of course. And Linz had a horrible race here today. Let's see if the next race will be better for him. But we'll see that, of course, next time. It was Apollo, Blake, Miyu, Draco, Jimmy, Sam, Zach, Ziu, Consti, and Scratch. There's top 10 and Apollo with the fastest lap. As we currently take a look at the standings here, Jimmy Fuego still in the lead, but now by a bigger margin. Draco now in 2nd, and Sam 1 point under. Apollo with 18 and Liz with 17. And a bunch of other drivers who are also in the points margin, with the minimum being 10 here at round 4. But I go round 5 next for the other records Suzuka Grand Prix.